Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Intersim Esports Network once again for your Tuesday night of Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship action. Tonight we are back in Australia and your location is Oran Park Raceway. Looking forward to bringing you all the action here tonight for what is round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. We're now already into qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. They've finished their practice session as we see all the drivers come out in this 10-minute open qualifying session where we'll see all the drivers on track at once and try and put their Porsche 992 GT3 up to the point. Who will take pole for race number 1 tonight? Will it be Dan Smith, who's just gone to the top in qualifying provisionally so far? Can it be Jared Knight, Ricky Provenzali? Can he be up there in pole position tonight as well? Will it be a championship lead and Jordan Mulak, as he's just in 6th position at the moment early on in this qualifying session? We're already 2 minutes 45 into the 10-minute qualifying session of what is going to be another super sprint round here for the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. Super sprint means 3 races. One of those will be reverse grid. So strap yourselves in. Don't tune away. There's nowhere else you'd rather be watching tonight than the Intersim Esports Network for some GT3 action around the famous Oran Park Raceway in Australia, New South Wales in Australia. So looking forward to bringing you all the action. Well, these drivers are in qualifying. We'll bring up a little bit of the race notes for you tonight if we do have those available, so you can see what we're going to bring you here on the Intersim Esports Network. So there's your race notes in front of you now. So the configuration tonight for Oran Park is the Grand Prix circuit. Of course, we're in Australia, in Narellan is the location. Track length is 2.60 kilometres. It's 32 degrees Celsius in the sim world, so quite a hot air temp. We're probably going to see track temps up above the 40 degrees Celsius, so it's going to be hard to keep these cars on the track as the tyre wear does wear out. We're at an altitude of 116 metres. Broadcasting is myself, Aidan Schultz, and Paul Jackson tonight. As I said, we look forward to bringing you all the action of what is going to be an absolute cracking night of racing here for round number 7. So at the moment, on at the provisional pole position as we're nearly halfway through the qualifying session, is the 313 of Dan Smith, setting the benchmark with a 104.74. Jamie Craig's just popped up into P2 with a 104.91 on his last lap. And Andrew Smith coming off a great round last week for round number 6. He'll be looking to back that one up tonight, and he's definitely started with a positive attitude there, sitting in 3rd position currently with a 104.94. So Dan Smith, Jamie Craig and Andrew Smith, who currently hold the top 3 positions through this qualifying session, are the only 3 drivers to drop into the 104s. The next best is Ricky Provenzali. He is in 4th position, just outside the 104s with a 105.08. Bradley Carr with a nice solid qualifying this week so far, sitting there in the provisional 5th position, 105.28. Matty Feldman sitting there. Good to see Matt back tonight. He is back, so he's the teammate of your championship leader, Jordan Mulak. We saw him on the broadcast last week having a little bit of comments in our streams. We thank you for doing that, Matt, when you watch this back, but even better to see you behind the wheel of one of these Porsches tonight and see how you end up. Doing a great job currently in 7th. Jamie Craig's just jumped up into P3 there with a 104.9. Provenzali's just gone quicker on that lap around with a 105.03. Not quite into the 104s yet. He's not good enough to jump out of that 4th position. We'll go down, just take you down a couple of other drivers as we go down the field to find where your favourite driver is. So Michael Budge is down there in 11th at the moment. Stevie Skukovic in 9th, the ever-consistent Steven Skukovic. Didn't have the best run last week by his own admittance, but he will be sure to have a better run tonight. But Oran Park's going to be a tricky little track to navigate. There are only 3 real passing opportunities that I see that these guys are going to have tonight. And of course, the first one of those is through the sweeper turn number 1 and into what you call Coca-Cola corner turn number 2 in that very heavy braking section. As you'll see, Colby Cohen here going down through that section now. He's into the Coca-Cola corner there. So there's one of the passing opportunities that we'll see these drivers possibly take advantage of tonight. Another one up here into Shell Corner. If they can get the run, there's a possibility that they can put the car up the inside there. But I tell you what, they're going to have to be very committed and trust the driver on the outside, as there's not a lot of room on exit. It's going to be pretty much follow the leader through this section of the track as we're watching Andrew Knight navigate his way through that, Jared Knight, sorry, navigate his way through that section of the track. He'll make his way up to what will possibly be the last passing opportunity tonight as he makes his way through the O'Brien aluminium dogleg down here into Recaro Corner, which will be the last corner to take you onto the main straight. So we'll go on board as we're 7 minutes 26 into this session with Jared Knight, and we'll take you for a lap around Oran Park, as it is Dan Smith currently holding the pole position provisionally with a 104.69. So as you can see, heavy braking down into turn number 2, second gear here for Jared Knight, first gear, sorry, up into third really quickly. Selects fourth, he'll take it down into second gear. He drops it right into first gear to get it rotated into the apex through Shell Corner. Quickly up the gears, he's trying to warm up those tyres there. He might be resetting for another run by the looks of this one. So he just navigates his way back past another competitor there. So that was Brett Smith. So we'll just keep on board with him through this section of the track as he makes his way up to Momo Corner. Momo Corner is a very tricky one. It can catch you out really quickly. It looks like you can carry a lot of speed in there through entry and through the apex, but you get really light if you catch too much curb on the inside, and it can push you right up to the outside as he just lets one of those drivers go, and he's going to set himself for what will be his last chance to better his position. He's currently in fifth with a 104.92, so let's see whether Jared Knight in the 22 can go one better and go up into the fourth, possibly third, second, or can he take pole? So turn up your volume, ladies and gentlemen. Have a listen to this Porsche 992 scream and do its work around Oran Park Raceway as he makes his way down through the Coca-Cola Corner. Once again, he'll make his way up into Shell Corner here. So a nice clean lap so far. He does have a car in front of him which can hinder you, but looks like he's now got out of the way, but it can also benefit you too there, as you could get a nice little toe coming onto the main straight and maybe gain that extra tenth that you need. Very important to carry mid-corner speed across the bridge and through this section. Eliminate the wheel spin out. Doesn't look like he grabbed fourth there. He just wanted to keep it in third. So eliminate the wheel spin, get a nice change of direction there. Be very careful not to grab too much curb on the entry to that one, because it can spit you out wide. In through the dog leg for this time of the lap, and he'll make his way down into Recaro Corner for the final time. Nice clean lap here for Jared Knight. Will it transition into a good lap time? We'll see as he comes across the line, and Jared Knight just does a 104.74. So Jared Knight just goes to P2, ladies and gentlemen. 0.005 of a second off Dan Smith's pole time. So what a lap there by Jared Knight, and what a time to jump on board with a driver. So we'll go across. The starting grid has been set here for race number 1, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. And starting off the pole will be Dan Smith with Jared Knight off the front row with him. Jamie Craig and Andrew Smith will be off the second row, Matt Feldman, and your championship leader, Jordan Mulak, will be on the third row. Ricky Provenzali and Colby Cohen on the fourth row. Dave Oliver and Garth Duffy out of the fifth row. Out of 11th, Adam Proctor. Bradley Carr will take up the 12th position. 13th will be Brett Smith. Stephen Skukovic in 14th. Dimitri Agathos coming off Real World Racing down in Sydney this weekend with some great podiums there. He's starting in 15th position. Dion Jarvis in 16th. Adrian Gretsch 17th. Michael Budge out of the 18th position. Russ Green out of 19th. Martin Hallinan out of 20th. Wayne Visser will occupy the 21st position with Anthony Holm with quite a slow qualifying by his own admission, I'd suggest there. Not used to seeing Anthony down in the 22nd position. That's where he'll start race number 1. Nico Filippetto start out of 23rd. Lindsay Kearns will start out of P24. 25th will be Tayfun Oz-Turkman. Brian Bullock will occupy 26th. Ashley Kersey 27th. Nathan Gotch, I haven't seen him in this series much at all. He's out of 28th, and Trav Mason will round out your 29-car grid here, ladies and gentlemen, for round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. So Dan Smith, nice good qualifying there. One of his first poles of the season, I'd suggest, if not his first pole position. He is on the favoured side of the road there where all the marbles are not. So he might be able to launch this 3-1-3 a little bit better than Jared Knight on the inside line. We'll see whether that converts into a good launch. As the lights are on, we're getting ready to go for race number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. We're going to get the green, and we are green for round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. And we saw that right there. That outside line got the beneficial jump, and that's allowed Dan Smith to have a great jump at the start. Matty Feldman's automatically jumped up, or jumped straight up rather, into P number 2 as they make their way down into Coca-Cola Corner for the first time this evening. They get through there nice and cleanly. Some nice 2 wide battles here, but they're being all very gentlemanlike into Shell Corner for the first time tonight as we're on board with the leader at the moment, Dan Smith. He's making his way up over the top of the Yokohama Bridge and through the mid section of this track down into Foster's Dip for the first time, and he'll make his way up to Momo Corner the first time tonight as well. So he makes his way nice and cleanly through Momo Corner up through the Oran aluminium dog leg. He will come down into the final corner, Recaro Corner, and this time past it'll be lap number 1. Andrew Smith looking very racy on the back of Matt Feldman there. Matt's having a few connectivity issues there by the looks of it as he keeps blinking. So Matt Feldman all under pressure by Andrew Smith. We've got the battle here between Dave Oliver and Ricky Provenzali, and Jared Knight's a part of this as well. So Dave Oliver trying to get the move done on Provenzali, and it looks like that might have been Provenzali in the background. It was Ricky Provenzali, after starting up the front in this one, has got a little bit too much gas out of Coca-Cola Corner for the first time. Looks like they might have made a little bit of contact there, which didn't help, and that sent him off to the side of the track, and it's put him right at the back of this field, lap 2 of 19. Let's go back to the simracermerch.com instant replay and have a look at what happened to Ricky Provenzali here early on in this one. So they're making their way down through turn number 1 into the tight Coca-Cola Corner. That was one of the corners I said is going to be a great passing opportunity. Dave Oliver on the outside. They both got a lot of wheel spin there on exit and cranked the car sideways, but wasn't actually contact. That could have been a little bit of the treacherous net code that we see in the iRacing world sometimes. So Dave Oliver got away with that one, but Ricky Provenzali not so lucky. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on lap 3 of 19, and Dan Smith had a good little gap there over Matt Feldman. Matt's ranged up onto the back of the battle, but now here's a battle for you. We have Bradley Carr. Bradley Carr has Adrian Gretsch, Dion Jarvis, Russ Green, all ready to pounce. And looks like Jared Knight has had an incident as well, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Knight's crashed out of this motor race lap 3 of 19. What's happened to Jared Knight? This might be a time to go across to the simracermerch.com instant replay once again and have a look at what happened to Jared Knight. So we had an issue with Ricky Provenzali lap 2. Looks like it's Jared Knight's time, lap number 3. So we'll see what happened to the number 22 of Jared Knight. He tries to get the job done over through the inside there over the Yokohama Bridge, and no room there for Jared Knight. He just got the door closed completely on him, and that is Jared Knight facing in the wrong direction here at Oran Park. So Jared Knight's going to join Ricky Provenzali right at the back of this one. Garth Duffy's also had an issue because he's in pit lane as well. So Jared Knight and Garth Duffy currently in pit lane. They're going to lose a lot. They've gone a lap down already. They may have had to tow to get back to pit lane. So they're going to lose a lot early in this one. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the battle for second, third and fourth unfold in front of you, I tell you who would have his heart in the mouth at the moment, and that would be Andrew Smith in the 99 in third position. Matt Feldman having a lot of connectivity issues. You see him keep dropping in and out there, and Andrew Smith is definitely going to have his heart in his mouth because he will not be able to see that car when he blinks. So Not sure whether Andrew Smith has let him know, but he's got that job done through Recaro corner onto the main straight, and Andrew Smith now takes the second position as they just about to navigate and take lap 5 of 19. So Andrew Smith now moves up into P number 2. Colby Cohen we're on board with now. He's chasing down Brett Smith, as you can see right in front of him. A little bit further up the road is Adam Proctor holding down the 6th position. So Colby Cohen coming off the back of a really hard round last week, and that looks like Andrew Smith. Too much jandal again, and Andrew Smith, after making that move on Matt Feldman to take the 2nd position, has now dropped out of that battle and worked his way right back as we bring up the simracermerch.com instant replay. So down into turn number 2, Matty Feldman just on the inside there. He blinks in the background. Andrew Smith comes out of the corner. Looks like he's just taken too much curb on exit, possibly caught a little bit of dirt, and that's just sent the 99 of Andrew Smith straight to the inside of the track. And that's another big player in this one early that is out of contention to take it to Dan Smith. But Dan Smith now, he's bolted. He's 1.7 seconds up the road from Matt Feldman, who keeps having those connectivity issues. Jamie Craig currently sitting in 2nd position. Jamie Craig coming off a podium in the final race last week here on the Intersim Esports Network, and he's looking good early in this one. Steven Skukovic, number 1, the ever-consistent Steven Skukovic. Not a good time out last week. He'll be looking to make amends tonight in this one, currently holding down the 9th position, but he's got Bradley Carr all over the back of him as they make their way through the mid-section of the track. It looks like Wayne Visser's had a little bit of a incident as well through that Coca-Cola corner. So that corner's now caught out 3 or 4 victims early in this one, lap 6 of 19. Some of the big players and guys that we're used to seeing up in contention for the top 10, if not a podium, have had a rough start to this one, and they're finding themselves at the back of this very, very stacked star-studded grid. So Anthony Holmes trying to make his way back up through the field. Anthony Holmes with a really, unlike Holmes, to be starting out of the 22nd position, but he's made his way up 8 positions and he's up into 14th. So he's trying to make amends and a recovery drive on whatever he can here in this race. Now, ladies and gentlemen, letting you know, like we did early in the broadcast, if you did miss it, round 7 is another super sprint round. So you'll see 3 races here tonight. The first one is 19 laps, as you can see on your screen on the leaderboard. There's no pit stops, no strategy, 19 laps flat out around Oran Park. Then we'll go straight into a reverse grid race. So they'll invert the grid and we'll go racing again for another 19 laps. How that one finishes is how we'll see the 3rd race start here, as we saw a driver into the fence there. Ricky Provenzali into the fence. Ricky Provenzali, he has not had the start to his night that he would have wanted. Started in the top 5 in this one. Started out of 7th in this one. Really good qualifying by Ricky Provenzali, but he has had a date with the wall on 2 occasions here. Not big hits, not big incidents, but enough to drop him right down the field. Jamie Craig there in a 3rd position, so he's ranged up onto the back of Matt Feldman. That gap's 0.4 of a second, so that's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, around Oran Park. Jamie Craig's having the same issue that we saw Smith have earlier in the race. He's trying to race his race navigating around a car that is blinking. Trav Mason there has had an incident. We've got a big incident down into Coca-Cola corner. Once again, the 66 of Dimitri Agathos. Another bad start for Dimitri Agathos. He had a tough week last week as well. Steven Skukovic is dropping off as well. Looks like he was a little bit of a factor in that one. He's let Dimitri Agathos go by. So I think Steven Skukovic might have just admitted default there, as Dimitri Agathos has another little bit of an incident. But the simracermerch.com instant replay will see how this all unfolded. Skukovic is there. You can see Dimitri Agathos just in front of him as they make their way down into Coca-Cola. And that's exactly right. Steven Skukovic has outbraked himself into turn number 2 and collected the 66 of Dimitri Agathos. And that is Dimitri and Skukovic not out of the night, but not how they wanted to start this race, especially for Dimitri Agathos, coming off such a stellar job down in Sydney in the production cars in the real world on the weekend. Congratulations to you. Dimitri here from the InterSim Esports Network. We did tune in and watch you go around, mate. Did a great job in the Subaru against especially some of those high horsepower cars. It was good in the wet, unfortunate incident there in race number 3, but still solid weekend all round. So no doubt, keep one eye on Dimitri Agathos. We'll see whether he can make his way back up the field into this one. But Dion Jarvis is now chasing down Adrian Gretsch. Dion Jarvis holds down the 10th position at the moment, so that's Adrian Gretsch just in front of him. 4/10 of a second up the road in that red and yellow livery. Apologies in advance, ladies and gentlemen, if the liveries aren't as you're used to seeing them here for the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Trading Paints, the program that brings all these special liveries to you, is having a little bit of a heart attack tonight and not refreshing and allowing all the paints to come up. So Adrian Gretsch's paint not showing tonight. These two gentlemen that we're on board with now, Martin Hallen and chasing down Michael Budge, that looks like Jamie Craig. Jamie Craig's had an issue. Jamie Craig, he was up chasing down Matty Feldman for the 2nd position. Matt Feldman's now dropped down into 4th, and your championship leader, Jordan Mulak's now gone into 3rd. Adam Proctor's taken 2nd, so it looks like Matt Feldman and Jamie Craig might have had a little bit of an instant there. It might be a chance to go back to that simracethemerch.com instant replay and see what happened between Jamie Craig and Matt Feldman, if anything at all. Yes, Matt Feldman getting on the dirt on the exit of 2, sent him across the track, and Jamie Craig nowhere to go. It looks like Matt Feldman could have possibly collected the wall there, and he has. He's collected the wall, and that's just fired him straight into the trajectory of Jamie Craig, and that's also Jordan Mulak, your championship leader. The first incident we've seen with Jordan Mulak, he's got out of everything this year so far, or this season so far, but he copped a nice big whack to the front of his Porsche. Still maintaining P3 though, 11 out of 19, and that's Matt Feldman and Colby Cohen having a nice little ding-dong battle for the 4th and 5th position in behind him at the moment. So we'll see whether this affects Jordan Mulak on his pace as these laps do wind down. But it still is Dan Smith leading Adam Proctor in this one. Adam Proctor having a great run. He's currently lapping about a second slower than your leader as your leader extends his legs and puts 6.2 seconds on the rest of the field. But I tell you what, let's give Adam Proctor a little bit of airtime here on the InterSim Esports Network, ladies and gentlemen. He's up 9 spots, started 11 in P number 2. Let's go on board for a lap around Oran Park with Adam Proctor. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As quick as a flash, a lap around Oran Park Raceway with your 2nd place getter, Adam Proctor. But I tell you what, the story of race number 1, even though we've had all the incidents we've had, Jordan Mulak, your championship leader, was sitting in 3rd with a little bit of damage, but now I've just seen him, he's in pit lane, and he's dropped all the way back to 25th. So the first time we've seen Jordan Mulak pretty much outside of the top 3, and I tell you what, that just proves how important it is to have a good qualifying here in the ProCar GTE Championship, because Jordan Mulak found himself very surprisingly on his own admission, probably starting out of the 6th position, and he got caught up with an incident, and now he's getting some damage repaired there in pit lane. So we'll see whether Jordan Mulak can come back out and feature in this one for race number 1, as with 13 into 19. Steven Skukovic making his way back after having that little bit of an incident earlier with Dimitri Agathos. He's following Dimitri Agathos up onto this little battle. Dimitri Agathos does have Tayfun Ozturkman in front of him. Tayfun with a great start in this one. We haven't seen Tayfun inside the top 15 for a long time, and he's currently doing a great job holding down that 15th position, but he will have his mirrors full of Agathos. The 66 Agathos, he'll want to make a move on Tayfun Ozturkman and try and make his way back up a little bit after having that incident. He's only down 1 spot on his starting position, so that goes to show how much he did gain early in this one as they make their way onto the main straight one more time. This time across the strike, they'll take lap number 14. So 6 laps to go here, ladies and gentlemen, for what is race 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship from Oran Park. Of course, brought to you by the Blendline TV and, of course, other major sponsors like Affordable Web Solutions, Viking Media, and South Gundagai Automotive that you can see on your screen, all their beautiful logos. So thank you so much to those guys for being a part of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. I will bring you a lot more information about those companies as the broadcast goes on, because it'd be not of me not to do that every week here on the InterSim Sports Network. All these great sponsors involved in the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Of course, be sure to go and support people that support the iRacing community. But here's the battle for 3rd position. It's Colby Cohen chasing down Matt Feldman. Looks like he's got his connectivity issues under wraps, but as I say that, and they make their way through Shell Corner once again, he just drops off the radar there, and he's doing it again. He's really blinking, so not sure if these guys are telling Matt that, hey mate, your connectivity's a little bit off at the moment. I'm really struggling to race you, but he's still doing a good job, hasn't been involved in many incidents, so he's still holding down the 2nd position as the lap car's going to play a little bit of a part there, and they've navigated their way around him very nicely. So that lap car did not play a part as I thought it may have. But does Colby Cohen have anything for Matt Feldman? We'll have a look this time round as they come across the strike to take lap number 16 of 19. Oh, Colby Cohen getting really loose there out of Recaro Corner down the straight. So we'll have a look at their last lap times. So Matt Feldman a 106.77 and a Colby Coham 106.65. So just trading lap times at the moment, laps 16 and 19. But these lap cars are definitely going to play a factor in this race, as it's a hard place to pass around Oran Park Raceway on the best of days, let alone having lap traffic. But the lap traffic doing a great job getting out of the way there of the leaders. So Colby Cohen still tracing down Matt Feldman, but it is the story of Dan Smith at the moment. We'll go back to your leader if we can, and we'll go back to Dan Smith, 6.2 seconds up the road from Adam Proctor. So last time round, Dan Smith 106.12 as opposed to Adam Proctor's 106.81. So he extended the lead of this motor race by about 0.6 of a second last time around. We'll see whether he can do the same this time around, as Adam Proctor and Matt Feldman had to navigate their way through lap traffic. So I'll give that to you as we go back to Dion Jarvis. Dion Jarvis has Adrian Gretsch up in front of him at the moment. They're sitting in 7th and 8th position as they make their way down the main straight one more time. Adrian Gretsch has Dion Jarvis all in his mirrors. We'll see whether Dion looks to have a move down into Coca-Cola Corner, turn number 2 this time around. Just a little bit too far back that time around. So on the gas they go. This has been the scene of many incidents here for race number 1 out of that corner. They get through there nice and cleanly. So I think Dion Jarvis is going to set up Adrian Gretsch for a move, and I'd strongly suggest he's possibly going to set him up for a move into the Recaro Corner for the final corner of Oran Park. We'll see whether that comes to fruition here as they make their way across the Yokohama Bridge one more time and down into Foster's Dip. They'll go through Momo Corner and now across we've gone up to Colby Cohen, so we've changed on to Colby Cohen. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So Colby Cohen is still chasing down Adam Proctor for the 2nd position. Now he's passed Matt Feldman, so he's made that move done on Matt Feldman. So Colby Cohen has made that move where we're off having a look at the battle behind. So your top three at the moment, Dan Smith, Adam Proctor, and Colby Cohen. Matt Feldman in 4, Brett Smith rounding out your 5. This is the battle for third, fourth, and fifth, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, as there's a brake lock into the corner just in front of them. Adam Proctor having a nice little moment there in front of Colby Cohen. Matt Feldman still sticking in behind there in 4th spot. Brett Smith's going to be one that'll be sitting there waiting to capitalise on anything that happens in front of him here as this little pack starts to heat up as the laps do wind down for race number 1. It is lap 18 of 19 as they make their way through the Momo corner once again, up through the O'Brien aluminium dogleg and down into Recaro corner for the second last time for race number 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Dan Smith's got this one covered, all bar the shouting up the front, ladies and gentlemen, but keep an eye on the battle for the minors. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th is where to have your eyes right now as we see your leader, Dan Smith, just stretching his legs at the front. He's just keeping that gap to 6.5 seconds. It's still Adam Proctor in 2nd position. He's got that one. Well, he doesn't have that one wrapped up at the moment because he's got Colby Cohen, Matt Feldman and Brett Smith all over the back of him. We will bring you back to that battle very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, but it is all about Dan Smith in this one. He deserves all the limelight and all the time here on the InterSim Esports Network. It's been a go-to-woe performance in what's been 19 laps of pure masterclass driving around the Oran Park Raceway. So the 313 of Dan Smith making his way through the O'Brien aluminium dogleg for the last time. Navigate his way through Recaro corner, get on the power nice and easily, and he'll get this one done as he makes his way, takes the final lap rather, and finishes. Sorry, my live timing just screwed up again. He finishes in the 1st position. So Dan Smith brings this one home with a nice commanding 6-second lead over Adam Proctor. Adam Proctor held on to that battle of Colby Cohen. So Adam Proctor will take home 2nd. Colby Cohen in 4th, Matt Feldman in 5th. That was a good little spicy battle, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a little bit of a starter. So now we'll go across to what we would call, well, what do they do? We've got a starter and an appetizer. Are they the same? They're the same thing, but we'll have dessert. We'll have the main course next. So we'll go from our starter and we'll go across to our main course, which will be race number 2. And we have to call it the main course as we see Wayne Visser go across and take the checkered flag for the first race tonight. Do not turn your eyes off the InterSim Esports Network, ladies and gentlemen. We can see you all tuning in here across our platforms of Facebook and YouTube. That's race 1 in the books. Race 1 done and dusted. But now strap yourselves in, turn up the volume because we're going reverse grid racing for race number 2. So we'll bring up the grid for race number 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. And it will be Jared Knight and Jamie Craig occupying the front row. Garth Gaddafi and Brian Bullock will start out of 3 and 4. Nathan Gotch and Andrew Smith out of 5th and 6th. Watch out for Andrew Smith early in this one. Jordan Mulak, 7th. Ashley Kersey, 8th. Not like to see Jordan Mulak finishing there in race 1, so he'll be one to look out for too. 9th will be Trav Mason. 10th, Ricky Provenzali, quick early in race number 1. Just a few incidents he'd rather forget. Lindsay Kearns out of 11th. Wayne Visser in the 12th position as we go across the page. Tafanos Turkman in the middle of the battle with Dimitri Agathos, though, will take up the 7th row of the grid. Stephen Skukovic and Russ Green, the 8th row. Martin Hallinan, Dave Oliver, the 9th row. Nico Filippetto and Michael Budge out of the 10th row. Anthony Hulme and Dion Jarvis, 21, 22. Adrian Gretsch, 23. Bradley Carr, 24. As we go across the grid one more time, 25th starting position will be Brett Smith. Matt Feldman out of 26. Colby Cohen out of 27th. Adam Proctor out of 28th. And rounding out your 29 car reverse grid for race 2, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship is the winner of the first race, Dan Smith. So they're all getting lined up here, ready to go. I tell you what, my taste buds are tickling. I am getting excited. We have seen a lot of carnage, we could say, off the start line in these reverse grid races. And just add a little bit of Oran Park to the mix, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to see fireworks. Who's going to get through the first corner? Who's going to get through the first lap? I can almost guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, not all these Porsche 992s are going to look the same way as they do, looking absolutely pristine there on the starting line, ready for race number 2. Only a couple of drivers left to connect. Must be getting their final little drink, maybe topping up their ice buckets, topping up their cool suits, their virtual cool suits, strapping in their belts. It looks like the one driver hasn't made the grid because the lights are on. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are green for race number 2, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Jared Knight with a solid jump on the outside, but Adrian Gretsch goes one better, and he's has a great line down into turn number 1. He just backs off on the error side of caution there and goes, you know what, Jared, we'll have this fight later, as Jared Knight just goes around turn number 1, grays around as well. Oh, they got off the line at least this time, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Craig was involved in that one, but Jamie Craig did take the lead. So not sure whether Jamie Craig had a little bit of a love tap there on the back of Jared Knight. So there might be something to play out later in this one. So we'll see what happens, but it's still Jared Knight up into the first position. Here's a move by Jordan Mulak, trying to get the move done on Nathan Gotches. Nathan Gotches got into the Cydia Championship leader, and that could be netcode, and there's further incidents behind. We've got a car in the wall. There's cars going everywhere, so this is what reverse grids do create. I can see Nico Filippetto there in the background in that red and yellow livery car. So Nico Filippetto navigating his way through the carnage or chaos that you can call the reverse grid races here for the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. But first time across the line it was Jamie Craig. He's got Andrew Smith. I expected to see Andrew Smith make waves early in this one after starting in the sixth position, and he's definitely doing this one looking very racy, trying to get that job done, as there's still carnage through Coca-Cola Corner as they're going through lap 2 of 19. So still drivers. That one was Ashley Kersey having a little bit of a date with the outside of Oran Park, and not the date that he would have wanted on his Tuesday night, no doubt. I'd much rather not have my date in the grass at Oran Park unless I had my V8 supercar sitting there right next to me that I don't actually own. So Oran Park Raceway definitely bringing all the spice up to everyone. Anthony Hulme there in that livery. I don't even have to look at my live timing when I see Anthony Hulme. He's got Trav Mason. He's under fire at the back there. Trav Mason's got Matt Feldman all over the back of him, as well as Matt tries to make the move down into the final turn. Couldn't get that one done through Recaro this time around, but he gets a great run onto the main straight. This is going to set him up into a great spot down into turn number 1. He keeps having connection issues. That's why you see our cameras keep going back and forward, because it doesn't know which car to go on board with when we're trying to bring you the action. So that's why it's going back and forward a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologise, but unfortunately that is the world of sim racing. Trav Mason's had another date with turn number 2. So I tell you what, turn number 2 getting a lot of love tonight. He's had more dates tonight than I've had in my lifetime. So the old Coca-Cola Corner, I might have to change my name to Coca-Cola, and Prue might go on more dates with me, I reckon, Paul. But we're down in here. We're on with Martin Hallinan. Martin Hallinan's up 14 spots. Oh, there's a big incident in the background. Big incident. I've put the mocker on him. Ricky Provenzali is involved in that. He's dropping down the timing sheets. He's involved. Nico Filippetto is involved in that as well. So Provenzali, he is backing up. Very unfortunate race number 1. It's not looking any better for Ricky Provenzali here for race number 2. I did expect all this action here at Oran Park, but I didn't expect this much, this thick and fast early on. But we're already lap 4 into 19 as we have another driver, your championship leader, Jordan Mulak, off the road once again. We've had 6 rounds. Jordan Mulak is your outstanding championship leader. He is a mile in front, and he hasn't had one incident almost for 6 rounds, and he's had more tonight than he's had for the whole championship as he just gets into the back of another car with a car going around. But let's go back to the simracermerch.com instant replay and see what happened to Jordan Mulak and see how he got into the incident here for race number 2. So he's making his way down into Recaro corner. Once again here, comes out of the turn and just gets way too early on the gas. And that big heavy rear end on that Porsche 992 just catches up on the front. He did a good job not to loop it all the way around and keep that car on the circuit, but that's going to hemorrhage him spots, and it definitely has. He's down into the 20th position. So Jamie Craig, we're back to the front of this one. Andrew Smith still hasn't been able to get that job done. Now we're back to Russ Green. Russ Green is all over the back of Martin Hallinan. So this is a battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So that you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Hallinan, Russ Green, Anthony Holman, Dion Jarvis part of this one. You can still see the Blinky Matt Feldman. We'll have to call him Blinky Bill, I reckon, for this one. So Blinky Bill sitting back there in number 7. So that's going to be my nickname for him tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Feldman is Blinky Bill tonight. So Matt Feldman is sitting there in 7th position. But Dion Jarvis doing a good job here, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one we're on board with at the moment, sitting in the 6th position. He's up 16 spots, one of the biggest gainers here for race number 2. As there's another incident here, Adrian Gretsch involved in that one. Another driver avoiding action. So Adrian Gretsch is going to go way down the timing sheet. Ricky Provenzali in the action again. He is in another incident. Ricky Provenzali cannot take a trick here for round number 7. But Adrian Gretsch still holding down that first position off Andrew Smith as they have gapped the field by 9.9 seconds down the road from your 3rd place of Martin Hallinan. There's Dave Oliver, one of the admins of this great series, ladies and gentlemen, having a nice solid drive. He's up in 12th position. He's up 6 spots on his starting position, I'd suggest. After what Dave Oliver's seen unfold in front of him tonight and early on here for the reverse grid, he probably just erring on the side of caution there and say, I'm going to get this 668 home clean, and no doubt I'll have a solid result, as everyone else will probably drop off in front of me. But Dimitri Agathos, he's no stranger to Sydney tracks. He's no stranger to Oran Park, I'd suggest, and he's having a good run here in the 2nd race. He's up to 8th position. He's up 6 spots. He's having a similar start, I'd suggest, to Dave Oliver, just trying to keep that full gas racing car nice and straight. It's looking pretty good there. How good does that car look, by the way, too? That striking grey, orange and chrome livery there on the number 66 of Dimitri Agathos. Sporting his famous number, the number he runs in the real world as well. He's here running it again tonight. He runs it in everything. Actually, he does a little bit of oval stuff, does everything, Dimitri, but he's having a nice run here up into 8th position. But this battle's spicing up, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Hallinan, Russ Green, Anthony Holm, Dion Jarvis, Matt Feldman. It's spicing up quickly. Anthony Holm, he's ranging right up in the back of Russ Green. He's going to want to get that job done quickly so he can chase down Martin Hallinan to possibly take the final step on the podium, as we're already nearly halfway through this 19-lap race. We're lap 7 of 19. It goes very quickly, but Anthony Holm, he's got to watch in his rear vision mirror because Dion Jarvis is there, Matt Feldman's there, Dimitri Agathos is there as well. So this could be anyone. This is a battle for 6 positions. 6 positions on racetrack at the moment. Who's going to get the better of it? It's currently Martin Hallinan holding off this angry little pack behind him of Russ Green, Anthony Holm and Dion Jarvis. Matt Feldman, Dimitri Agathos. That gap at the front extends out to 10.8 seconds, but this is definitely the battle for your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. Can Martin Hallinan hold on here for a podium? Martin Hallinan's one of these drivers through this series. He's been there or thereabouts. He's been in the position to have some solid races or some solid finishes, as most of these drivers has, as he just locks up an inside front there into the corner that time around. But he's had a little bit of bad luck, as has some of the drivers, and we've seen some of the, we would say some of the top drivers in the championship. Let's not say top drivers overall, because they're all as good as each other. But some of the top drivers in the championship standings have incidents in this one. So I can't quite, there we go. So, yeah, we'll see whether Martin Hallinan can keep this one, but it looks like Martin Hallinan there. No, he's still got the better of Russ Green. That car in front looked like it was the car of... It looked very, very similar to Anthony Holm, but it's Bradley Carr. So Bradley Carr just getting out of the way there, and he was having a little bit of an incident. But that allows Martin Hallinan to get back into it and try and hold on to this third position as we're now on board with Dan Smith. So Dan Smith, your winner of race number 1. He started from the back. He's up to 15th position, up 14 grid positions from his starting position. This will currently put him right in the middle of the pack if this is how this finishes for race. Oh, Nico Filippetto with a big send into turn number 2. Did a great job not to collect the field there into turn number 2. That definitely deserves a simracermerch.com instant replay, as that was heart in your mouth stuff for Nico Filippetto. And I bet you the drivers behind were keeping one eye in that mirror, because he was a beeline for that field. So he's just collected the grass there on the exit of turn number 1, just into his braking zone. That's just turned the car left. He's had a big launch over the ripple strip. He's going to come straight across to the cars, and oh my God, how lucky were all those preceding cars to not end up being absolutely collected by Nico Filippetto. So Nico Filippetto, he's had a night to not remember so far. He's been involved in everything. He's been on the broadcast, but not for the reasons Nico would want to be on this broadcast. But here's a spicy little battle. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Dimitri Agathos, he's got Dion Jarvis there on the inside of him. So Dion Jarvis is going to get that job done as they make their way up over the Yokohama Bridge one more time. Dion Jarvis getting the job done on Dimitri Agathos. Blinky Bill's on the inside as well. He gets that job done as well. So Dimitri Agathos, I think, just let him go because he didn't know where he was. So Blinky Bill's now up into the 7th position. So Martin Hallinen's just looks like he's getting a little bit of less pressure on the back now. He's just got about 0.6 of a second over Russ Green. But Colby Cohen, he's now making his way up onto this battle as well. So this battle's actually all the way from 3rd position all the way down to 12th. So only a matter of tenths, as it looks like. Dion Jarvis has actually just dropped a little bit on Anthony Holm. So he's dropped 1.4 seconds down. But Colby Cohen showing a lot of pace. He didn't race number 1, a nice solid result. He's up 18 positions here in race number 2. Sorry, Colby Cohen had a good start to race number 1 and didn't have the best finishing position for race number 1, which put him at the back. Oh, sorry, he had the good starting position, which put him at the back. Can I get it right? So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Put him at the back for the starting of race number 2, and he's making his way up, and he's now got into the inside of the top 10 in the 9th position. So this is good for his championship points, and will put him off a good starting position for race number 3. If he can hold on to this 9th position, he does have Dimitri Agathos, Matt Feldman, Dion Jarvis and Anthony Holm up the road from him. So he'll want to get the job done on those guys if he does have the opportunity. Oh, as Russ Green has a big moment into Recaro and gets that one stopped before he has a date with the outside wall onto the main straight. But that's going to allow... Colby Cohen, Russ Green, Brett Smith, I think, to get that done. There's a couple of lap cars here as well, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just trying to get my bearings on who's where as they go through the turn number 2 this time around. So lap 12 of 19. Brett Smith there holding down the 10th position. Russ Green's just in front of him. You can see Colby Cohen in front of them as well. Dimitri Agathos just in front of them. So this is a big, long train, a big, long battle. This is spicy. I don't think this is going to end this way. The way these drivers are driving tonight, I really do not think that it's going to end this way. So that's getting spicy. As we let this little battle spice up, let's give someone else a little bit of time in the sun here on the InterSim Esports Network. We haven't done it for the previous 6 rounds on this driver. We're going to do it tonight. Let's go on board with the 777 of Tayfun Ozturkman and give him some time in the sun on the InterSim Esports Network and go for a lap around Oran Park Raceway. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, that we picked a bad lap to go on board with the 777 there at Tayfun Ozturkman. It looks like he got a nice little possible helping hand there on the way into turn number 2. Not sure because we were on board. We'll go to the simracermerch.com instant replay and have a look at that one. Nico Filippetto there up the inside of him, down through the sweeper. No, he didn't get any help. He just caught too much grass there on the exit. So we saw Nico Filippetto do that a couple of laps previous. So Nico Filippetto having a date with turn number 2 twice in 2 laps. And he's done pretty much the same thing. That time it wasn't any doing of himself. That was the unfortunate bystanding action as Tayfun Ozturkman had a little bit of a moment there into turn number 2. Adrian Gretsch just stretched his legs ever so slightly over Andrew Smith in first place now. It doesn't look like much, ladies and gentlemen, but Jamie and Craig over Andrew Smith, not Adrian Gretsch. But anyway, I'll get it right. But now I say that, Andrew Smith makes the move, tries to switch back on the final turn, can't quite get that one done. Jamie Craig will cover his line down the main straight as they make their way down into the sweeper. Jamie Craig's going to cover really hard. Andrew Smith will look for the switchback as they go into the braking zone. No room there. We'll see whether he gives him a little bit of a helping hand through turn number 2. No, he plays nicely there as they make their way up into Shell Corner once again. Andrew Smith taking a really narrow line there on entry as Jamie Craig just locks the front brake there. This battle is holding on. Andrew Smith out of nowhere. That was an opportunistic move if I've never seen it. Throws the 99 up the inside. Jamie Craig with the switchback. Andrew Smith trying to turn down him a little bit. That was a little bit nasty by Andrew Smith. That's not racing. Come on, Andrew. But he's trying to hit. Andrew Smith really racing at the front of this one. It's elbows out. The 39er, Jamie Craig, definitely knows he's got a race on his hands. Andrew Smith is looking to make this move. He'll definitely send it down the inside here. No, he won't as Jamie Craig covers the line. This is going to allow him to do that switchback that we saw last time round. He can't quite get the power down early enough, and Jamie Craig still leads the way as we go lap number 16 of 19. So can Jamie Craig hold on for 4 laps from Andrew Smith? I'm not sure he can. Andrew Smith is doing everything in his power to get around the 39 of Jamie Craig. Jamie Craig coming off a podium last round. He's doing a great job. He had an unfortunate first race in this one, which put him off the first row in this reverse grid. And he's definitely making every post a winner. But Andrew Smith, he is quick and he is looking to get this job done. Can he get it done cleanly, though? That is going to be the question. If Andrew Smith does try and make the move again, is he going to get it done cleanly? He looked a little bit racy and looked like he wanted to get that one done, and there was a little bit of panel rubbing, as you would say, and a little bit of a helping hand, but Jamie Craig was wiser to that one as he just opens that gap up a little bit on the 16th circulation around Oran Park. But Andrew Smith might be just getting that car nice and cool now and just waiting to come back and have another shot at your leader. But Dion Jarvis, he's in front of this little angry pack you can see, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Hallinen's in front of this little angry pack. That's Dion Jarvis, you can see, chasing down Martin Hallinan. So this is a spicy little battle. Have a look at that train as they make their way down the main straight here. Lap number 17 of 19, they go this time across the strike. Jared Knight, you can see there in the 13th position. After starting off the pole position, he is down into 13th after rotating the car into that corner. You can see right there on turn 1, lap number 1. So he's having a little bit of a recovery mission in this race. But this is definitely very spicy. Brett Smith there in the 10th position. As there's a move just up in front, that looked like Dimitri Agathos making a move on Martin Hallinan, was it? Dimitri Agathos. No, Dion Jarvis that was. Colby Combs now followed him as well. So Colby Combs made it up. But Dion Jarvis, he's not going to let him have it easy. He's going to give him no room on the exit there and pushes him off into the grass. But he looks like he's just going to back out of that a little bit and let Colby have it. It's now Russ Green's around. 2-3 of them off into the wall. So it is all over. Dion Jarvis, Russ Green, that battle that was spicing up so nicely. Not the way they wanted to end that one. Anthony Holm, you can see there, holding down the 3rd position. That's Matt Feldman. Blinky Bill in the 4th position. Oh, Blinky Bill, can he get a podium? Tell you what, Anthony Hulme won't even know if he gets past because he won't be able to see him, but we'll see. Andrew Smith, it looks like on my timing, has had a massive crash. Andrew Smith, he's dropped 9 seconds off Jamie Craig. Let's go back to the simracermerch.com instant replay before we go white flag here for race number 2 and see what happened to Andrew Smith after he was battling with Jamie Craig. You can see there into turn number 2, it looks like he's got very hard onto the brakes and then he's just disappeared. So he's Blinky Bill number 2. So Andrew Smith getting really late on the brakes, and then he's got too hard on the gas and decided I'm going to do some donuts on the exit of turn number 2 just for some fun. So he still hold on to second position though, but that's put him 10 seconds down the road from Jamie Craig as our simracermerch.com instant replay decides to freeze on us. So no idea what's happening there, but we'll take this opportunity. I know we're back to the leader, so we are white flag now. It is Jamie Craig, who looks like, all bar everything going drastically wrong, is going to come home with yet another win here for the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. For what was the reverse grid, started out of the second position. At the moment, 9 to 10 seconds up the road from your second place getter, Andrew Smith. So Jamie Craig makes his way through the back end of the circuit for the final time for race number 2. Through the O'Brien aluminium dog leg he goes. Just needs to navigate his way through Recaro corner for the final time. You'll get that one done nice and slowly on the gas. And your winner for race number 2, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship will be Jamie Craig. Andrew Smith, after facing the wrong direction last lap around, holds on to come home in the second position. Anthony Hulme's going to get the job done on the look of it by Blinky Bill. You can't see Blinky Bill in the background, so I'm not sure where he is, but it looks like Anthony Hulme's going to hold on to that over Matt Feldman. Dimitri Agathos will come home with a nice solid P5 finish there. Martin Hallinan, 6th. Colby Colam in 7th, Adam Proctor 8th, Jared Knight 9th, Dave Oliver in the 10th position. Michael Budge now making his way through Recaro corner for the first time tonight. Michael Budge with a solid finishing position there. We didn't talk a lot about Michael Budge in that race, but usually if you don't talk about them often, they're not really getting involved in too many big incidents. So that's a good result there. Trav Mason, he'll come home if he gets this one around in the 21st position. He went down 12 spots on his starting position. So tough race there for Trav Mason, but he'll hold on for 21st position. That's exactly where he'll start race number 3. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of race number 2. Round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship here on the InterSim Esports Network. These drivers will go into a little bit of a warm-up session if we go on previous rounds. That'll give us a quick opportunity to go through the official race results for race number 2 so you can find where your favourite driver was. So we'll bring up those race results for you, and your winner for race number 2 was Jamie Craig. Andrew Smith and Anthony Hulme rounded out your podium positions for race number 2. Matt Feldman, Mr. Blinky Bill, came home in 4th. Dimitri Agathos in 5th. Martin Hallinan, Colby Coam, Adam Proctor, Jared Knight and Dave Oliver rounds your 10. Brett Smith, Dan Smith, Jordan Mulak, Russ Green and Michael Budge 15, Bradley Carr 16, Garth Duffy 17 and Nico Filippetto in the 18th position as we go across the page. In the 19th position, when it decides to catch up with us, it doesn't look like it's playing the game with us again here, ladies and gentlemen, but now it decides to do so. So in the 19th position was Stephen Skukovic, and rounding your 20 was Trav Mason. Dion Jarvis, Adrian Gretsch, Ashley Kersey, and Tafan Oz-Turkman, your 24. 25th, Lindsay Kearns, Ricky Provenzali in 26th, Wayne Visser in 27th, Brian Bullock in 28th, and Nathan Gotch in the 29th position. But the story of the night, ladies and gentlemen, as they go into a little bit of a warm-up session before we head to the final race tonight for round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. The story of the night is your championship leader, Jordan Mulak. Hasn't featured in any of the podiums so far for the 2 races. A very, very, a position that Jordan Mulak is unaccustomed to being here for the first 6 rounds. So very, very weird from a commentary perspective to be calling Jordan Mulak down in the field. But I tell you what, for the championship, this has definitely spiced things up, and that's what we like, a little bit of spice here on the InterSim Esports Network. But let's take this opportunity, as they are in the warm-up session, as you watch Ricky Provenzali go around the Oran Park circuit. Let's do the big shout out to the sponsors. Let's give them all the love that they deserve here for the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. Let's tell you a little bit about affordable web solutions. So if you're in the market for anything to do with web solutions, exactly as it says, they take away the overwhelm by helping motivated and ambitious small business owners to bring their presence to reality. So if you are a small business owner and you want to get into that online presence, you're not sure how to do it, you're not quite sure on that creativity, you need those extra ideas and a little bit of help to get yourself in that online world, which today is the way that the world is, and you're watching us exactly there tonight on the online world. So get a hold of affordable web solutions. They bring your online presence to reality. The way they do this is by using proven strategies to design and develop websites that provide a quality return on investment. So that will be everything through your search engine optimization, whether it be through Google AdWords, whether it be through any of those channels that websites utilize or web designers utilize to be able to get you to the top of the Google searches, you to the top of the searches when people are searching your product. So affordable web solutions, get a hold of them. You can find them on the World Wide Web, of course, affordable web solutions. Give them a Google or jump onto social media through the Facebook platforms and you'll be able to find affordable web solutions. We'll go South Gundagai Automotive now. They are an automotive business, obviously. They're established in 2018. If you have general mechanical repairs or maintenance required to your road vehicle or your everyday vehicle, they are definitely the place to go down in the South Gundagai region if you have the need for any of that. Registration inspections, if you've just bought a new second-hand car, need to get that one registered or inspected before you go and get a roadworthy and registration. South Gundagai Automotive can do that. Of course, it's heavy or light vehicles, so you might be a courier, might drive a truck, for example. They'll be able to get that sorted for you as well. Having a few issues with the ECU or anything electronic through your vehicle, they also do electronic diagnosis and repairs. So once again, South Gundagai Automotive, tyre fitting service as well. Look no further, South Gundagai Automotive. And if you have that special little race car in your shed at home, the guys there at South Gundagai Automotive also offer race car preparation and repairs. Hopefully you're not doing too many repairs. That means you put it in the wall and binned it. But I tell you what, if you do, South Gundagai Automotive is the place to go. They also offer wheel alignments for your race cars, and they do full car setups as well. So if you are in the South Gundagai region and you're in the market for any of those type of things, get on to South Gundagai Automotive and make sure you support the people to support the iRacing community. It's very important to support these businesses as they support us to enable the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship to exist and allow us to bring all the beautiful pictures you see here on the InterSim Esports Network for your Tuesday night. Of course, we can't forget Viken Media. So Viken Media, what a great company Viken Media is. They produce automotive event and portrait photography for commercial and social media content. So they obviously use it so they can use it for your socials, obviously through your Facebook or your YouTube, which is more of a video type thing, but for your Facebook, your Instagrams, or Insta as all the young guys call them these days, Viken Media, they do all that content for you. So if you are a business looking for that little bit of a flair, looking to bring yourselves up through that social media side of things, get onto Viken Media. Of course, they do a lot of automotive stuff as well. So if you have your favourite car in the shed, if you have your favourite race car or anything like that with portrait photography in the automotive section, be sure to jump onto Viken Media. They are a newly founded brand, and the owner of Viken is very passionate about people, travel, and all things automotive. So for all your photography needs, contact Steve at www.viken. Viken is V-I-C-H-E-N. I'll repeat that, V-I-C-H-E-N. So that once again is www.viken.com.au. the place to go for all your portrait photography through commercial and social media platforms. All the content you need, jump onto them. So thank you so much once again to those three sponsors: Affordable Web Solutions, South Gundagai Automotive, and Viking Media. We'll give them another shout out before the end of this broadcast. Of course, if you are watching here on the InterSim Esports Network as they go through this little warm-up session before we bring you race number 3, be sure to give us a like. I hope you're liking the broadcast here tonight on our streams of Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't already, go across and give our Facebook page a like and a follow. Of course, jump across to our YouTube page, give that one a little bit of a like, follow, and possibly subscribe to that one if you'd like to as well, to make sure you don't miss any of the action as we go live here for all our broadcasts on the InterSim Esports Network. As Dave Oliver goes a little bit of bush bashing around Oran Park there in the raceway, on the Oran Park Raceway, as I keep talking to you guys. But yeah, be sure to subscribe. We'd like all your support. We'd love all your support. It'll allow us to break our content even better and bring all the content to you here more often on the InterSim Esports Network. I hope you're enjoying everything you see. But by the looks of that picture, we should be getting close to race number 3, and that is exactly time to bring you the grid for race number 3. And Jamie Craig and Andrew Smith will occupy the front row. Anthony Holm and Matt Feldman off the second row. Dimitri Agathos, Martin Hallinan, will be off the third row. Colby Cohen and Adam Proctor off the fourth row. Jared Knight and Dave Oliver off the fifth. Brett Smith and Dan Smith will be off the sixth row. And out of the seventh row will be your championship leader, Jordan Mulak and Russ Green. Michael Budge out of 15, Bradley Carr out of 16, Garth Duffy and Nico Filippetto 17th and 18th. 19th, Stephen Skukovic with Trav Mason out of 20, Dion Jarvis 21, Adrian Gretsch 22, Ashley Kersey 23, Tafan Oz-Turkman 24. 25th position will be, if it will roll over, it's playing up on us tonight, but we're going green already, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have time for that. We're green, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Adrian Gretsch. It is Jamie Craig on the outside with a good jump there over Andrew Smith. So Andrew Smith gets the job done there into turn number 2. As there's a big send, Anthony Holm. Looks like he's gone off very fast. Dimitri Agathos involved in that as well. There's definitely got to be contact there. Those cars went off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So we'll just keep watching the battles unfold. Nico Filippetto, you can see in there as well. He's making a move down the inside on Adrian Gretsch. That's Nathan Gotch with a very similar livery there to Nico Filippetto. So my apologies, Nathan, that I got that one wrong. Nathan Gotch, one we haven't seen much in this series so far. So he's currently sitting in the 18th position. He's already up 11 spots on his starting position. So the 660 there, Nathan Gotch, he got through all that mayhem of the turn 1 melees, as we've seen all night here at Oran Park. So Nathan Gotch with a nice solid start there. Jamie Craig has, though, got the start, but he's got Matt Feldman all over the back of him at the moment as we see the battle between Colby Coham there into turn number 2 for lap number 2. Colby Cohen gets the job done on Andrew Smith. So Andrew Smith second on the exit of turn number 2, lap number 1, and lap number 2, he's dropped back to 4th as Martin Hallinan has a little bit of a moment there into turn number 3. No harm, no foul. The drivers get away from that one, but that's going to drop Martin Hallinan down in the order. So let's go and have a look at where your championship leader is. Jordan Mulak, he's in 8th position at the moment, so he's buried in the 8th position trying to make his way through the field. He's up 5 positions on his starting position. He hasn't had a clean race yet tonight. As we've got a car going around in front of him, he does good to keep that. That's Dave Oliver, SSR. A Dio Photo? Is that Do Photo or Dio Photo? Not sure. Do Photo. That's it, Do Photo. Dave Oliver Photo. How would I not known that? Anyway, I'm a bit slow here on the InterSim Esports Network. There we go. I just learnt something. Dave Oliver Photo. There we go, Paul. I know, Paul, you're not chatting tonight, feeling a little bit under the weather, mate. But I tell you what, write that one down. That's got to be a question on our InterSim Esports Network trivia when we go back oval racing, mate. Because I got that one wrong. We'll see how many of the how many of the oval races get that question right. So we'll throw that one up and see whether they know. Oh, as Andrew Smith gets a big tank slapper out of that turn as he goes up over the Yokohama Bridge, does very well to keep it off the tyre wall, but he's got a driver on the inside there, and that looks like that's Do Photo. So Do Photo. So we've got two drivers, we've got Do Photo and Blinky Bill. So there's Michael Budge, though. We'll get back to the seriousness, ladies and gentlemen. And the seriousness is Bradley Carr's now had an incident in this one as well. So Bradley Carr, the 85 of Bradley Carr, having an incident through the Momo corner, it looked like there. So unfortunate for Bradley Carr early on in this one. Lap 4 of 19. We go across the strike. Jamie Craig stretching his legs at the front, but Ricky Provenzale here in 10th position, just poking his nose up the inside, or had a little bit of a look there on Michael Budge through the sweeper into turn number 2. A little bit far back to do anything there, but Ricky Provenzale, or Provenzale, Ricky, sorry, I've only got that wrong once tonight, mate. So I think I have anyway, but be sure to private message me after the broadcast and tell me how many times I got it right and how many times I got it wrong. But Dan Smith making the move done there. So Dan Smith coming through in this race as well. We'll see where he is. He's in 13th position. He's down one spot. So Dan Smith, the winner of race number 1, making his way back through the field in race number 3. He had a decent race number 2, so it finished around about that mid-pack in the 14th position. So can he make his way up and contend for a podium in this one? But as we've seen, we're already lap 5 of 19. As we've seen, it's ever so important track position around Oran Park Raceway. Dan Smith drove away by 6.5 seconds in race number 1 and struggled to get through the field. So very important to get track position. This is exactly how we're seeing these races unfold, as Jared Knight here is all over the back of Colby Cohen for the 3rd position, as Matt Feldman and Jamie Craig lead this one early on. So Jared Knight looking very racy early on behind Colby Cohen. Colby finally up onto the podium. I don't know if we're going to be able to have a chat with him tonight. We haven't had a chat with Colby yet here on the InterSim Esports Network in a broadcast. So I don't know if that's putting a commentator's curse on the 25 of Colby Cohen. But great to see him in P number 3. Hopefully we can have a chat with him for the first time, as we see Andrew Smith having a moment there through Momo corner. Once again, Andrew Smith definitely can't say he's not trying here tonight, as he's had many a moments, but he's been really, really quick. So Andrew Smith, he's currently sitting down in the 7th position after starting on the outside of that front row. He's dropped down into the 7th position. Adam Proctor, you can see here, Adam Proctor, he has Jordan Mulak all over the back of him. Looks like that was Colby Coleman, Jared Knight having a little bit of a race in front, but Jared Knight just there. He's going to prevail on that one and keep Colby Coham behind him. But this is Spice. Oh, as Dan Smith, the winner of race number 1, has an incident into Coca-Cola corner. So turn number 2, Coca-Cola corner being the scene of all the incidents here tonight. Let's go back to the simracermerch.com instant replay and have a look what happened to Dan Smith in the 313. So we make his way through the sweeper, turn number 1, into this very hard braking zone, turn number 2. Looks like cars locked the brakes. Steven Skukovic, I know it's a 28 car. Martin Hallinen's locked the brakes in front, 2 cars in front. That's made the car in front of Garth Duffy, maybe. Well, it's checked up, and it looked like that Dan Smith got on the brakes there, rotated the car hard on the rear brakes, and got collected by Steven Skukovic there. So that's unfortunate for Dan Smith. Lucky it's a little bit of side impact and not so much front. He does have some damage there, but he'll be able to keep navigating away. The big loser in this one's been Dimitri Agathos. He's down into 24th after starting out of the 5th position. But Jamie Craig, he's just stretching his legs at the front now. He's 2.09 seconds up the road of Matt Feldman. So Blinky Bill at the moment sitting in 2nd position. You can see him there just briefly as he blinks through the dog leg. Sitting there in 2nd position, Jared Knight. Jared Knight's another one that we haven't had a chat to here. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, here on the InterSim Esports Network. He's got that job done on Colby Cohen, or Cohen. So he's now moved up into the 3rd position, and he's just driving away a little bit now from Colby as we're just about halfway through this, which is our dessert race, as we said earlier. So we've had the entree, we've had our main, and now we're here for dessert. And it is Jamie Craig, Matt Feldman, Jared Knight that you're on board with now in the third position. Here's your championship lead, and Jordan Mulak looks like he's dropped right back. He was battling for the sixth position just a lap ago. So it looks like Jordan Mulak, he's had a little bit of an off-track excursion around Oran Park and having another struggle here for race number 3. But there we go, Bradley Carr on board with there, doing the old cover-off on... Oh, he gets a big hit from Dave Oliver there through the centre of the corner. Dave Oliver not barring any punches through that corner, giving him a nice hit up the butt saying, hey, I'm here, Bradley, just letting you know, don't make a mistake because I'll be here to pounce. But Bradley Carr trying to get the job done on Adrian Gretsch if he can as well. That's Adrian Gretsch just up in front of him. But here's Michael Budge in the 7th position. Michael Budge has Ricky Provenzali in behind him, so this is 7th and 8th at the moment as they make their way through Recaro Corner for the 9th time of 19 of asking. So we go down the main straight once again on board with Michael Budge. He has one of the best liveries in the field here, Michael Budge, I'd suggest, in my own opinion. It always sticks out. I love that gold and black with the Octagon sponsorship up the side from Octagon Racing. So it's the same as his actual race car, I believe, from what I know. But very, very nice livery there. Very easy for me to be able to call here. Another driver, Nico Filippetto, with that yellow and blue livery. He always makes it a little bit easier for me to call if the live timing's playing up. But there's another driver out there tonight that has a very similar livery, which made it really hard for me to be able to call. And that is, I'll see if I can find him. I remember him by name. It's Nathan Gotch in the 660. There he is there. So he's got a very similar livery to Nico Filippetto. Just not as much yellow across the front of the car, as there's a car having a moment in the front of Nathan there. That was Lindsay Kearns having a little bit of a shut your eyes, grit your teeth moment in the 67 as they make their way through the O'Brien Aluminium dogleg and down into Recaro for another time of asking, lap 10 of 19. We're already halfway through this one. And Ricky Provenzale all over the back of Michael Budge. He'll try to do the switch back here. Just gets propped mid-corner through the apex and couldn't quite get on the power hard enough to be able to get up the inside and get track position for the next turn. But they'll make their way up over the Yokohama Bridge once again. So this is the battle for the 7th and 8th position. Michael Budge with Ricky Provenzali all over the back of him. Provenzali getting a little bit light there on the front end through that right-hand corner, which just dropped him just a car length off the back. So he's going to have to get that car length back to be able to get in a position to make the move on Michael Budge. But Michael's not going to let him have this one easy. It might be a battle for 7 and 8th, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all about points here for the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. We've seen some of the big players, some of the championship leaders have a really hard night at the office. So this is a time for some of the drivers to have a nice solid night where they can regain some of the points. He got the move done there into turn number 2. So Michael Budge has succumbed to the move from Ricky Provenzali. So Ricky Provenzali gets that one done. We're now on board with Garth Duffy. He's fighting for the 9th and 10th position. Jordan Mulak is the one in 10th. He is ranged up onto the back of Garth Duffy over the last lap after having his little bit of an off-track excursion on about the 9th lap after being in the 6th position early in this one. So your championship leader just trying to regain some of the positions that he lost. He's going to want to get as many positions up as he can. Yes, he did come into round number 7 with quite a substantial lead, but as we see tonight with the changing of the guard at the front of these races, the championship lead can be swallowed up very, very quickly, especially if you have some solid runs at the front. And round number 8, if your championship leader has another run like tonight, that's going to allow 2nd and 3rd place to possibly jump back up and nip at his heels. But I tell you what, he's still got to get that one done. But it is Jamie Craig at the moment. He's still got that 2-second gap over Matt Feldman, Mr. Blinky Bill, in 2nd position at the moment. Matt Feldman has Jared Knight about a second behind him. Jared stretched the legs over Colby Coleman in 4th as well. So Jared Knight is up about he's nearly made that to 3 seconds now over Colby Cullum. So sitting pretty comfortably there in the third position. This is the battle for 5th and 6th position at the moment. Adam Proctor and Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith's been everywhere tonight around Oran Park, and he's now trying to make the move on Adam Proctor in the 5th position, or at least range his way up onto the back of Adam Proctor to put his car in a position to be able to pounce if Adam does make a little bit of a mistake. So I tell you what, with those headlights and that bright yellow car of Andrew Smith behind you, very easy to get sidetracked and start driving in your rear view mirror. So Adam Proctor will just want to hit his braking points, hit his apexes as the race leader. The race leader has had an incident into turn number 2. Jamie Craig has come off and he's back behind this battle. That's put him back to 6th position. So your race leader, Jamie Craig, has had a mistake to come out of the lead of this motor race. This is the time for the simracermerch.com instant replay if I've ever seen one. Let's see what made Jamie Craig, or how Jamie Craig came out of the lead of this motor race and allowed Matt Feldman to take the lead. So down into the sweeper and into Coca-Cola Corner. Looks like Coca-Cola Corner is the culprit once again. Gets way too hard into turn number 2, got it locked, and then just, it was a passenger from there on into the sand trap. Does it do its job and keep him off the tyre wall? Doesn't, and he's got a little bit of front end damage there. Not as bad as it could have been, as the sand trap did do its job. But tell you what, Jamie Craig pretty much had that one in the bag, and now he's back into the 6th position. But Blinky Bill, it's allowed him to get up to the lead of this one. Sorry when you watch this back, Matt. That is Matthew Feldman, or Matt Feldman, Jordan Mulak's teammate. We're just having a bit of fun because you're blinking all night tonight, mate. But that is Matt Feldman up in the 1st position. Jared Knight is having an absolute blinder. I don't think, as I said earlier in the broadcast, I don't think we've had a chat with Jared Knight on the podium here in the InterSim Esports Network. At the moment, it's a 2nd spot with 14 of 19, but he's showing pace on Matt Feldman. He took 1/10 of a second, or just over a 1/10.5 of a second out of him last time around Oran Park Raceway, and we'll see whether he can take any more time out of Matt Feldman this time around. We'll see. We can't quite see Matt Feldman because he keeps jumping in and out at the moment. Matt Feldman scrapes the wall there on the exit of Recaro as they make their way onto the main straight to take the 15th lap of 19. So there we go. There's the lap times. Matt Feldman, that last time around, a 105.7. Jared Knight's taken another 4.5 tenths out of his lead. So a 105.3 for Jared Knight. So let's keep an eye on this battle. This is the battle for the win for race number 3. Will it be the first win for Jared Knight in the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship here on the InterSim Esports Network? Will it be Matt Feldman, first time back after a week off last week? Will it be him that's able to hold on to this first place? But if I'm having a look at lap times at the moment, Jared Knight is looking very racy at the end of this one. In saying that, though, it's one thing to get to the back of Matt Feldman. It's another thing to pass him, especially with him having those Blinky Bill moments at the moment. Jared Knight won't quite know where his car is, and it's also, especially into those braking zones, it's going to make Jared very uneasy to not know where the car is. So we will see what happens, but Jared Knight just takes another 1/10 of a second out of your leader that time around as we go back for the battle between 5th and 6th between Adam Proctor and Jamie Craig. Jamie Craig trying to make his way back up the positions after having an absolute bin moment after leading this motor race about a lap or 2 ago. He pretty much had 2.5 seconds on the rest of the field and just binned that one into turn number 2. He'll try to do the switchback here, gets cropped through mid-corner again. Very hard to get the over and under done through that section of the track. And he'll just play follow the leader here up over the Yokohama Bridge one more time. So it's pretty much line astern through this section of the racetrack as they make their way down through the undulating section of Oran Park. So they make their way through Momo Corner for the 16th time, up through the O'Brien aluminium dogleg and down into Recaro corner for lap 16 of 19. This time across the strike for these two drivers, there will be 3 laps to go. So who is going to get the better of this one? Will it be Jamie Craig, your early leader? Will it be Adam Proctor that holds on for a top 5 finish? Who knows? 3 laps to go. Definitely anyone's. Still another 9 or 10.5 kilometres of motor racing, ladies and gentlemen, around Oran Park to decide this one. Matt Feldman, he's under attack by Jared Knight still, but this battle needs to be stayed on at the moment. It's very juicy as this is the battle for 5th and 6th. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, as I get a little bit of a frog in my throat. But I tell you what, let's go back to Matt Feldman and Jared Knight, Paul, if we can, because my live timing is going absolutely crazy at the front here, and I can see why, because something has happened, whether it's lap traffic or whether Matt Feldman is slowing down and holding up this battle. But Colby Cohen last time around took 0.5 of a second out of this battle for 1st and 2nd, and that's what you see as the gain there, ladies and gentlemen, the net gain. And it's now a 3-way battle for the leader, race number 3. Tell you what, Andrew Smith will be sitting there in 4th position, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed, that something happens in this little battle to pull him up on the podium. But this is definitely, you've got to keep your eyes on this one. Matt Feldman, very blinky. I don't know how these drivers are navigating around behind him at the moment and not getting into the back of him, but they're doing a great job. It's making it very hard to call. But Matt Feldman, there he is. He just comes out of nowhere there onto the in through the apex. But Colby Cohen chasing down this Jared Knight in front of him as well. So will Colby just be happy to settle in there for 3rd position at the moment and bring this one home, or will he want to try and fight for 2nd and possibly 1st? I'm sure Jared Knight will want to have a little bit of a go at Matt Feldman if he does make it up to him and get into a position to be able to make a pass. But laps are running short, time's running out. Colby Cohen going very deep under brakes there into Recaro one more time. He's going to get a little bit of a run onto the corner, not quite as much as he wanted. Jared Knight's got a nice run, though, on Matt Feldman as we take the white flag here for race number 3. Jared Knight and Matt Feldman at the front of this one. Will Jared Knight come home with his first win? Will Matt Feldman come home, I believe, with his first win? Could it be Colby Cohen with his first win? So a lot of firsts here, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see whether he can get that one done as he tries to do the over and under here through this section of the track. As I said, very tricky to get that job done through there. So through this right corner, they'll go up over the Yokohama Bridge for the last time tonight. Can Jared Knight do anything? Does he have anything for Matt Feldman in the back end of this race? So they make their way down over Foster's Dip. They'll go through Momo Corner, and then they will come up to the O'Brien aluminium dogleg. So through Momo they go. Looks like Matt Feldman's just got the gap on Jared Knight, unless Jared has a big hero moment into the final turn. Doesn't look like he does. He's going to play this one very, very cautiously. Matt Feldman did get a little bit of a lock up there on the entry. We couldn't quite see him, but we could see the smoke. But there we go. It is line astern. It remains that way for the top 3, and it is Matt Feldman, Jared Knight and Colby Cohen, your top 3. Andrew Smith holds on for a 4th position. Adam Proctor, he held on for 5th position. Ricky Provenzali comes home in 6th position. Jamie Craig 7th. Garth Duffy in 8th. I tell you what, though, Jamie Craig, where's Jamie Craig? He came home 6th, so he couldn't get the job done on Adam Proctor. He actually dropped a spot to Ricky Provenzali as Dimitri Agathos in the full gas racing car makes his way through the dogleg for the last time. Nice little sideways moment there. He'll come through Recaro corner and take home the 18th position in this one. But ladies and gentlemen, as quick as you blink here on the Indosim Esports Network, that's race 3 done for the Blendline TV ProCar GT Championship. It was a night that was a lot of action. It was a night that brought everything. There was actions, there was thrills, there was spills, reverse grids, there was everything. But here are your final results for race number 3, round number 7. Matt Feldman comes home in P1. Jared Knight and Colby Cohen rounds out your podium. Andrew Smith and Adam Proctor, your 5. Ricky Provenzale, Jamie Craig, Garth Duffy, Jordan Mulak and Michael Budd, your 10. Brett Smith, Dave Oliver, Adrian Gretsch, Stephen Skukovic and Bradley Carr, your 15. Lindsay Kern, 16. Russ Green, 17. And Dimitri Agathos in 18. In the 19th position was Trav Mason, and rounding out your 20 was Nathan Gotch. Tafan Oz-Turkman in 21st, Ashley Kersey 22nd, Nico Filippetto 23rd, Martin Hallinan in 24th, Anthony Holm in 25th, Wayne Visser 26th, Dan Smith 27th, Brian Bullock 28th, and rounding out your 29 starters was Dion Jarvis. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was race number 3, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. No one down in the waiting room just as yet. Of course, a big thank you to all the sponsors of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Affordable web solutions for all your, exactly that, affordable web solutions. If you want to bring the online presence to reality, jump on to Affordable Web Solutions. They do use all the proven strategies, and they use them to design and develop websites that will provide you a return on investment, ladies and gentlemen. So get across to Affordable Web Solutions and support them. Viking Media, of course, quickly before we get through to the top 3 place getters for race number 3. Viking Media, automotive, event, and portrait photography. That's their niche. Get amongst them. If you've got a need for automotive, event, or portrait photography, jump on to Viking Media. You can use it for commercial or social media content, either. A newly founded brand, the owner of Viking is passionate about all things people, travel, and motorsport. So get a hold of Viking Media, www.viking.com.au, and support the people that support the iRacing community. Of course, last but not least, South Gundagai Automotive, based down there in South Gundagai. They were established in 2018. If you have a need for general mechanical repairs and maintenance, whether you have a vehicle that needs registration inspections, whether it be through light or heavy vehicle, if you've got ECU issues, electrical issues, they also offer electronic diagnosis and repair. They do have a tyre fitting service. And as you've just been watching racing here for round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship, they do race car preparation. So if you have that little car or that favourite car of yours sitting in the garage, sitting in the shed out the back, sitting in the race trailer, sitting in the truck, the transporter, whatever you have at home, and you need some race car preparation, if you need some repairs, if you did what we saw a lot of drivers do tonight and end up in the wall at Oran Park, they'll also look after you with that as well. Wheel alignments, look no further, South Gundagai Automotive. They also do full car setups as well for your race car. So be sure to support the people that support the iRacing community, and one of those is South Gundagai Automotive. Of course, it'd be silly of me not to mention Blendline TV. Blendline TV, the major sponsor of course, the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship, brought to you here live on the InterSim Esports Network. For all your grassroots motorsport, jump on to Blendline TV across your Facebook and YouTube platforms. Give them a like, give them a follow, give them a subscribe. They cover all types of grassroots motorsport, whether it be like Dimitri Agathos on the weekend in the production cars down in Sydney, whether it be the big V8s roaring up the mountain, whether it be some historical stuff back from 20, 30 years ago. You can find it all on Blendline TV. So anything that tickles your taste buds, there'll be something there for you guys to enjoy. So get across and support the people that support the iRacing community. So we'll go straight into our sorry, I'm just thinking of something at the same time. We'll go straight across into our interviews with our top 3 drivers. Unfortunately, it doesn't... Oh, yep, we do. We've got him there. I don't know why he's not down in here, but we'll put him down into the chat, and we'll go straight across to the interviews for your top 3 place getters here for race number 3, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. And third place tonight, the 25, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, mate. My apologies, Colby Cullum in third place, mate. Nice, solid drive tonight. Very quick car, always within the top 10. Couple of little incidents there, but most of the field had one at some point tonight. But you've got to be happy with a P3 in race number 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was too quick. I think we just managed to stay on the road, to be honest. So, but yeah, happy with it. Good result.
Don't undersell yourself, mate. You did have some pace. You're always up there. Of course, a lot of drivers did have incidents, and one notable one tonight, your championship leader, Jordan Mulak, with a very, very unfortunate night for him, and not up to the standards of you would say that he would put himself at. But I thought we all pretty much thought this coming into Oran Park, quite a tight track, hard to pass, a nearly 30 car grid. It was always going to be difficult to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, a bit more of that from Jordan would be good. That'd help everyone catch up a little bit. So keep going with that, Jordan, please. But yeah, it was. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a bloodbath than that, to be honest. But yeah, I thought everyone kind of behaved pretty well.
Yeah, they did. From the broadcast point of view and from the commentary booth, the first two laps were a little bit dicey. Once everyone sort of just got their feet under the table, as you say, it sort of calmed down a lot. But the area of action tonight was turn two, Coca-Cola corner. A lot of drivers getting their wheel off on the exit of the sweeper, turn number one, and in that braking zone and having big moments. But a lot of the action was seen down into turn number two. How'd your car feel down in turn number two tonight, mate? It looked like a really tricky part of the track to navigate, as it is obviously a very heavy braking part of the track.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to lock a brake into there. So I kind of, yeah, I didn't go in there full tilt every lap. I just was more or less concentrating on keeping it on the road. So there was a little bit of margin there. So yeah, yeah, very easy to lock a brake and go off though for sure.
Well, mate, it'd be silly of me not to ask you, because I've had PMs, I've had everything. How do I pronounce your last name?
Cowum.
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 Cowum. All right, so I'll get it right for next season, all right? I promise you.
That's all good, mate.
Well, mate, third place tonight, first time actually up into the broadcast booth with us through the first 7 rounds from memory. So good to have you up here, mate. Of course, you'll have big shout out to everyone involved for your first podium of the season. I believe it is in one in the commentary booth anyway.
Yeah, we got on the podium at Long Beach as well, but big thanks to Car Mods Australia, all the Blendline boys for putting it together, AWS, and in particular Damon May busted his guts behind the scenes to put it all on for us, so we really appreciate it.
No worries at all, mate. Congratulations once again on your P3. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, your third place getter for race number 3, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. It was Colby Cowum. I probably pronounced it incorrect again. But you're number 25. So moving across to the second place getter tonight. What a drive by this young man, the 22 of Jared Knight. Tell you what, Jared, you had Matt Feldman in your sights in that one. He was a little bit blinky on our broadcast. I don't know what it was like to follow him there in the number 22 car, but great job holding on to P number 2.
Yeah, it was it was stressful to say the least. Those last 6 or 7 laps behind him, but it was what it was. I just had to deal with it. Yeah, he still had some pace. So yeah, good win for Matt. I think that might have been his first of the season.
I believe that was. He actually missed last round, but he was tuning in to the broadcast supporting Jordan Mulak. But, mate, it's all about yourself at the moment. P2, I believe, I don't know, I can't recall we've had that many races this year. I believe it could be one of the first times we've had a chat to you up here in the broadcast booth. I was definitely cheering you on there in the 22, looking for you to have a nice solid result. And you did that with a nice P2 tonight. That's definitely going to give you a nice bank of points there after we finish round number 7 tonight.
Yeah, I've missed a few rounds. I was back for Twin Ring last week and had a shocker, and then sort of continued that the first 2 races of tonight. But yeah, P2 was nice. I think starting from about P12 in that last one, so it was nice to cut through the field.
Well, hopefully it's a start of something to go here for the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Hopefully it's the first of many to come. We're getting to, we're over halfway through the championship. We're getting to the back end and things are going to start to spice up very quickly. So hopefully it's not the last time we talk to you up here in the broadcast booth. But of course, mate, big shout out to everyone involved for your P2 tonight.
Yeah, mate, obviously the series sponsors, they get a mention every week. And just my specific sponsor, Elite Rappers Sydney. Just cheers to Chris for his support.
No worries at all, Jared. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place getter tonight for race number 3, round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. It was the 22 of Jared Knight, which takes us straight across to your P1 place getter for race number 3. First time on the top step. Not his first time talking to us here in the broadcast booth, but P1, 88 of Matt Feldman. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Mate, when you watch the broadcast back, I need to apologise to you here. I apologised in the broadcast and I need to apologise to you here. You may have got yourself a new nickname.
Oh, no. Blinky?
Blinky Bill, mate. You're now Blinky Bill. So I was calling you Blinky Bill majority of those races. So I do apologise.
No, that's fine. I've had apparently all sorts of dramas with my internet last night in a series finale. First time I really have had issues like that, so I apologise to everyone in the field as well, because I can't imagine how stressful it was for the guys behind, especially Jared. He obviously went for a move at one point and probably had no idea where I was, so he redressed that and that was awesome. But yeah, he obviously had all sorts of stress trying to follow me through there along with a lot of other guys.
Yeah, and it's always the way when you have internet connection issues through the iRacing platform. It happens to me sometimes as well, but it can never be down in a straight line. It always has to be in the braking zones or going through the apex. So it seems to pick its moments where it's really not the best moments to happen.
Yeah, a couple of those tonight across all 3 races. Got a bit racy with a couple of other guys, and they obviously were trying to give me room, and I could see everyone at all points in time, but they were obviously getting bits and pieces off me. So yeah, real difficult for them.
Well, mate, it'd be really silly of me not to mention you tuned into the Into Sim Esports Network last week because you couldn't make it, and thanks for tuning in and commenting on the stream, mate, supporting your teammate of Jordan Mulak, the championship leader, but not the night in the office that your teammate wanted tonight.
No, he's he's off the back of another championship win, so he can't win them all. But definitely not his preferred night. It's his pet event in the Porsche as always. He's always consistently quick, but just not quite his night tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, just caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time on a couple of occasions. But I tell you what, it's all about you tonight, mate. P1, first time P1. Hopefully, I said to Jared the same thing. Hopefully it's the start of a little bit of a run and start of something to come into the back end of the season.
Yeah, look, it's always good to sort of have a bit of a mix in the field and a mix on the podium. It sort of spices up the championships a little bit, but I can't imagine Jordan's going to stay where he is for very long. I'm sure he wants to step back next week.
Well, speaking of next week, are we going to see you at the Red Bull Ring next week?
Hopefully. I've had a bit of a run with work of late, pulling me away from this. So hopefully I'll be back. It's always a good, fun league to run. The guys are always awesome to race against. So hopefully it's a more consistent one that I can show up to.
Well, hopefully we see you there, and hopefully we see you back on the podium and up here in the broadcast booth for what will be round number 8. But congratulations once again on your first win of the season. Of course, it's time for all those shout-outs of everyone involved.
Obviously, like everyone else has said, all of the sponsors for the series, Blendline, AWS, South Guy, and Viking Media, obviously you guys in the booth and broadcasting and Into Sim Esports. For myself, shout out to Digital Global Racing, Jordan and I's team. There's a lot of other people who put a lot of work in that team and whatnot, so they're always a good bunch to have. I got a shout out to iDrive Sim Training, White Line and Mishimoto as well, and it would be rude of me not to plug my own series of OzRX. I'm a rallycross driver through and through. So if anyone wants to do some rallycross, we race Thursdays. So yeah, check it out on Instagram and Facebook, OzRX.
Well, I might actually do that, mate, because I run in a NASCAR series which runs the full schedule of the real world, and that's actually just finished up on Thursday, and on Thursday gone, and I went across to Sorry, no, it's finishing up in a week or two. So that'll give me my Thursday nights free. So I might have to get a hold of you after this one and maybe come do some rally cost action with you. So just another little shout out to that league for anyone that wants to get involved.
Yeah, so it's just OzRX League. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We're pretty fresh to the socials, but you'll definitely find a link to our Discord there. If not, by all means, send me a message and jump on board. It's some good fun.
No worries. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your Race 3 winner for round number 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. It was a first-time winner. It was the 88 of Matt Feldman. That, of course, brings you to the close of round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. But, of course, it all doesn't stop here on the InterSim Esports Network as we go live again on Friday night for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Your location will be the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard, for 80 laps around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can catch all the action live here on the InterSim Esports Network across our Facebook and YouTube platforms. We'll be live from 7:15 Australian Eastern Standard Time or 8:15 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. Then we go live on Sunday night once again for round 4 of the Australasian Supercar E-Series. We've just come off the Daytona International Speedway road course, and we're now going to head to Kentucky Speedway for 134 enthralling laps of 3-wide action of 30-plus V8 supercars around an oval. You can see all the action live here on the InterSim Esports Network from your usual time, 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or 8:15 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. Then, of course, we're back here next Tuesday night, same time, same place, the InterSim Esports Network, where you'll catch all the action for round number 8 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. Our location will be the Red Bull Ring for what is going to be an absolutely enthralling night of racing in the Porsche 992 GT3 cars. So that brings to the end round 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. And your winner was the 88 of Matt Feldman. We thank you all for tuning in across our platforms of Facebook and YouTube. We look forward to seeing you on Friday night for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, Sunday night for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, and then, of course, back here on Tuesday night for the Blendline TV ProCar GTE Championship. But from myself, Paul, and everyone at the InterSim Esports Network, we thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday night.